I'm thinking about running an Algorand node. Now, I know what you're thinking here. Frugal, come on. This stuff's been out forever. You're way behind the curve, buddy. I get it. But let me explain my process, because I was doing liquid staking through TinyMan and using that to do DeFi, but I actually think I might do better running an Algorand node, because I think we're about to hit a huge price spike. So let me go through my thinking, and I'm going to show you what I've been doing. But before we do that, guys, I'd love it if you'd hit that like and subscribe button. Now remember, you don't have to smash it. You can actually just press it gently, and it works just fine that way too. And by the way, we are brought to you by non-fungible domains. Guys, get that .algo address. It just makes doing everything in Algorand so much easier. Are you going to remember all those letters and numbers? I'm sure not. That's right. They got vaults, segments, and all kinds of really great features, so check that out. Non-fungible domains, they're in the description right below my silly face. And we're also brought to you by Marcus Aurelius. Guys, this project is so cool. They are spreading the word of stoicism, which has been really important in my life, doing it through a meme coin and NFT project on the Algorand blockchain. They're just always building and doing new things. They're running ready pools. I mean, I can't even keep up with all the stuff they're doing. It's amazing. So you go check them out in the description below. Marcus Aurelius, that's right, Stoic Emperor and a kitty cat combined together. And give a lot of love to both of our sponsors, because they're really cool. I like both of these projects. I really vet them hard. I mean, these are ones that people in the community love, so I know that they're solid. So check them out in the description below. But yeah, let's get back to this, because I think this is really important. It's something I've been thinking about for a while, because there's some stuff I don't like about TinyMan. I mean, I love TinyMan, but the things I don't love about liquid staking, there's some stuff that's a little opaque that I wish was a little more transparent. Like, how do you know what you're getting? You know, you're supposed to be taking advantage of staking through it, but you have no idea how. How do you know? Well, let's take a look. Okay, now a lot of you guys have been following along. Some of your channel members you've seen this before anyone else, okay? Because I've been sharing my progress with this, and I'm going to show you my spreadsheet in a second, but this is what I'm doing, T-Algo UST, and you do that on the staking page, okay? So here it is, and this is what you're supposedly getting, and let me move that over a little bit. Ignore this algo balance. This is just what I got hanging around that isn't put to work here, but and they don't even show you the T-Algo balance. I don't really understand that because I clearly, you saw from my thing, I have it. So, but anyway, 0, 0, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'll be honest, it doesn't make sense, but supposedly you're getting 5.99% APR. So, not as good as running your own node, but you also don't have to do your own. But then you're also supposed to get 78.25% APR, and that's through various pools, which I'll tell you, the ones that are that high, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I'm not going to put a huge amount of wealth into meme coins. It's just not going to happen. Okay, guys, USDC, like I said, going back to this one, it's the T-Algo USDC. Now I've found that with liquidity pools, your safest bet here is anything with USDC in it. That's a good stabilizing factor. Now, how do I know that? Because I actually ran the experiments. That's how I know that. And the one with, at the time, it was Algo USDC, was the most stable. I didn't lose my shirt on it, and you're still making rewards in the meantime, so that's what you want. But yeah, you can see here, I mean, I don't know what I'm making on it. I can't see how my T-Algo is actually doing. Where's those rewards? I don't know. This is one of the reasons why, I'm doing the pools and earning rewards that way. So through that pool, I'm also earning tiny rewards, and the tiny token has been relatively stable. I'd still rather earn an Algo or USDC, but the tiny token, it's been doing pretty well for me, so I can't complain too much. It's been a little low lately. It was almost down to 2 cents. Now it's at 2.5 cents, so not too bad. But it drives me nuts that I can't see the result of this. I have no way to track this, and it drives me nuts. And a lot of people have complained about this, and I think it's a legit complaint because you just don't know how your staking is doing. So let me show you my results. They're a little spotty. All right, so I've been tracking this since February, and I think, was I earning tiny at this? Yes, I was. So this is during tiny. Now I liked it much better. The rewards were so much better when they were before we switched to Algorand staking for the liquidity pools. It just got a lot worse because you just don't make as much tiny as you did Algorand, and there was overlap. It continued for a while, okay, but generally I was making that one day I made that was the fees. Rewards, yeah, they were around in February they were around $5-6 every day, and you can see by doing the math, they got a lot lower. It was about $3 a day. It's just pretty consistently here. You can see here. I mean, this is pretty typical right here. You can see $3, $2.85, $2.82. This one's $9 divided by 3 days, so about $3. So it's been between $3.50 and high $2, my 280. I would say 280 to 350 is probably the range there. And, that's not great. Now the other thing is this won't go up. So with Algorand increasing in price, and I think it's going to increase. I think we're finally hitting that big bull run that was supposed to start a long time ago, and it's finally kicking off. I expect the Algorand rewards to get much higher. Let me show you what the equivalent is, because this is about, this is low 5 figures. This is about 10,000. You can see here. It's varied between about 10,000, high 9,000, maybe 9,500 at its very lowest when Algorand was kind of crashing a bit, up to over 10,000. So we're gonna say around $10,000 worth. So I did a little math. Oddly enough, this is about how much it would be. It's like, in fact, if I put everything in, it would be 42. So we can use 41,700 because that's actually pretty close to what the Algorand would be if I cashed it in right now. And I'd be getting about 8.6 algo per day. And right now that's about 2 something. So it's a little bit lower than what I'm getting. But if Algorand increases to somewhere in the 30 to 40 cent range, I figured out that would be about $4 a day. So if it doubles, let's just put it this way. If it doubles, I'll be in the $4 range. I'll definitely be making more than I was in LST. Plus, I can actually see the rewards. Now, there are some caveats here because there's also this fee, and you can see the fee is in about another, some days. This one went down. I don't know how it went down somehow, but maybe it was 18 and I recorded it wrong. But it's been between about $2 and $4, which is also way worse than I was getting through USDC algo, because that's the most common swap that people are going to make on Tinyman. So you just made the most in fees. It just makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? And I haven't done the calculated rewards, but it's been, about 10 to 13%, and then probably more like 25%. So that's more, but it's also really hard to realize. But this all has to go into the equation. And then there's other factors, like, for example, you have to run a node and you have to keep it running. And if your node gets offline, you've got to go fix that. I don't have to fix anything on liquid staking. Now there's other options. I could put it all in a ready pool, which I'll make less, but I also won't have to worry about it. So that's an option. And then the other thing is, one of the things I would do is I would try it on one of my old computers to see if it works, because the hardware requirements are very, very low. It's really your internet connection that is more important. My understanding, people have run them on old MacBooks and old other computers, and I think that's entirely possible. I do have a mini PC that I'm using for all my, brand new mini PC that's, it's got pretty good guts in it, but it's not gonna win any speed rewards. It would be perfect for running a node, and I've been thinking about getting a new PC anyway, one that's maybe a little more appropriate for streaming and gaming and all that. So this would be, then I would easily use this one I'm recording on right now. That would be a perfect node running PC. I'll be honest, I'm really torn between these two, because I hate that Tinyman. It's really hard to tell what you've been making. I assume I've been making more, but I have no way to test that. I guess the value's been going up, but that fluctuates with the price of algo. Not knowing what you've been making is a huge frustration. And I know these things take a while for developers to figure out, but it is really frustrating. And I guess some other factors to consider is, who knows, maybe there won't be a huge bull run. Maybe this is a false alarm. I think it's about to kick off. I really do. And the potential for rewards is very, very high. One of the things I liked about the USDC algo pool in the old days was that you actually gained with the price of Algorand. And I would here too, but only about half of it, because half of it is USDC, the other half is T-Algo. So I would have more surface level to gain on the price appreciation from Algorand if I was running my own node. On the other hand, there's more complications, and even though running a node is supposed to be very, very easy, if it does get knocked off, you have to fix it, and you could miss out on some rewards. So there's some potential there. For people running your own node, I would love to hear how it's going. So, you can definitely let me know in the comments below how it's been going for you, because this is something that I'm thinking about. It's 24 cents now, so I'm thinking if it's like 50 cents, those rewards definitely will become worth it, and it'll be less complicated. I like that. And the rewards are automatic too. I don't have to go every day and select them. Be a little easier to track, I think. There's that. That's also a benefit. There's a lot of ups and downs potentially with this, and I would also be helping to secure the network, which is pretty cool. I like that idea, but it definitely brings some challenges, and those are some challenges that I'm going to have to think about. So Like I said, I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about this. I don't think this is going to be a long video. I just wanted to show, it's kind of an update on my liquid staking experiment, and I want to talk through why I'm thinking about changing. Because I gotta say, I don't love it. I don't love how liquid staking works. You know, and I guess I could do the restaking thing too, but again, you know, it all comes back to, like, you really have no idea how you're doing. You can't track it. For all I know, they could be taking money. I don't think that's what's happening, but like, I just hate that you don't know, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency to try to show people what you're earning on liquid staking. I find that really frustrating. So. And I think they're all like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I've only used Tiny Man's, you know, but otherwise I would love to hear what people are doing. Just to be clear though, I think it would have to go more than double, because Algorand's price would have to more than double, I think, to make up for what I am making on liquid staking. But as far as just straight up rewards, which is actually what I like more, I find that more interesting. Like, obviously staking would be simpler. So anyway, why don't you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I always love hearing your feedback. Definitely let me know what you're thinking, and if you've had experience with either of these, I'd love to hear your experience, what you think. Maybe you've done both. I would love to hear that. Yeah, let me know what you think. Definitely love to have feedback, and I really want to engage with you guys in the comments, so let me know what you think. But otherwise, I'm FrugalBC. I hope you're doing well out there. I hope your staking is going well if that's what you're doing. And otherwise, let's buckle up for, I think we're in for some nice price action coming up this year yet. So stay tuned. I'm FrugalBC, and I will see you in the future.